Oh baby, the PRs are back. That you've never seen him before. You'll never see him again. I fired mid because he's the worst. So now I have David Ryan here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and we're just gonna mix this shit up. So I don't know. Just quick, I guess a recap. It'll be on the screen for the viewers and me because I'm recording. But we the a little bit of shakeups last week. It's still like week 3, I guess, for this purposes of this. So there's gonna be a lot of like 1 and 2s, 2 and 1s. Just still gonna be pretty like heavily record based. Just how these end up because it's hard to put a 1 and 2 above a 2 and 1 unless like bullshit I guess. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so I don't know. Well, I'm just gonna jump into it because I don't I don't think these things through. So in last was Moki. If he lost, it'll still be him. No, it's not. It's it's Will in the Whitney Meal Tanks. So I don't know. Will played. Who did Will play? Week 3.
He played Dynamo Bucharest.
Oh yeah, I know that was a touchdown. Yeah. So it was I don't know. It was an interesting battle. It got like weird at the end because he like baton passed speed into a Blaziken, but like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. You guys both played it kind of weird, but Will did Will things. I think he just like sacked off stuff for no reason. He does that like every battle I've ever seen him do, and it's like it always annoys me.
yeah. I'm not sure, man. Like I played against him, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it didn't seem to me like he was stacking stuff or like he made like bad plays or
right.
like atrocious stuff. Or in my opinion, he did all right.
No, that was
Thing
one of
is,
his better ones so far for sure.
yeah, thing is, his team has a couple of issues. Like he Bowden up to week 2, and then he just dropped it, and now he has no ground type, which is uh, which is really bad. Like
Yeah,
if you're playing a draft league and you don't have a ground type, that your team's gonna be eaten alive. Like
right. Like yeah, it's fine if you don't want to on, but you gotta like replace it with something.
yeah, and then I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't very in control of the game, so he played decently well.
Yeah.
So
All I remember is
maybe
like
he
at one point he just brought like he had a free switch into Tracheon and he brought in his like 33% Decidueye and it just died. I'm like, come on, Will. Like I don't know, like
yeah.
Decidueye probably wasn't doing anything, but you still gotta like keep it around as like a sack or something. I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean, his prep could have been better, I think, and maybe he needs to work a bit on his team.
yeah,
But
no, I mean certainly like I mean at this point it was a 2-0 team versus an 0-2 team, and it was kind of like a shaky 3-0, so it wasn't anything crazy.
mm,
Yeah, also this week,
yeah,
like 6 of the 8 battles were 3-0s, so there isn't like a lot to glean from.
yeah,
Like if you're ahead of somebody and you both won, like you're probably gonna stay ahead of them because there's just like a bunch of like similar battles.
mm.
Yeah. Okay, but that's it for
So
Will. So I mean, he's 0-3 at this point, so it's hard not to have him in the bottom. But we'll
yeah,
see if he can pull his shit together. Maybe draft a ground type or something.
yeah, yeah, sure.
So next up in 15 is actually going to be Shade and the Calgary Town Flames. Once again, he is also 0-3 at this point. And this week oh god, I can't tell anymore. Yeah, okay, this is because the docs changed. He lost 5-0, so that's one of the couple battles that was pretty one sided. He also like I don't remember he dropped like Tentacruel or something for week 3, and I don't know why, but I don't know. He just like he dropped Tentacruel and picked up something dumb, and he got
Mm.
5-0'd and to go 0-3. So it's like there's not much to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, man. Like I must say this game really did seem one-sided. Like
Yeah,
he really had no control over the game. Like he got dominated. The
yeah. I
it
mean,
seemed to me like he wasn't really trying, was he?
I
Like
don't know. It's hard to tell a Shade. I mean, yeah, he just like left like a 80% health Ferrothorn in on a freaking
yeah, yeah,
fire type. I'm
that's
just like, come on, man. You have a Regirock. It's right there. It's at full health,
yeah.
please. But yeah. So you have a three bad battles in a row. You're not gonna be much higher than bottom couple unless you have someone like Will who's padding the bottom by one. But yeah, so bad week for Shade, and that's it's hard to bounce back from
Yeah,
that.
that's it, man.
Alright, whatever. Moving on. In 14th is also Spanik and the New York Rangers. So this is the third 0-3 team. So of course they're going to be at the bottom. Doesn't it doesn't help. He played. He actually played Trog. So like I try to like avoid saying who won until we get to them, but like
Hmm.
it's hard not to. So he played Trog and he actually like got hacked kind of bad. I actually rewatched these battles, so I know what happened now. But he's got Veil, Zardex and stuff. So he literally had Veil up, and he got like Charizard was at like 80 or 75% health or something, and was at +1 Dragon Dance, and Elandris came in and critted it through Veil, which I think it should have lived. I mean, I don't know what the calc is on that because like it was Elandris, but like he got like
Yeah,
like with his win con out, and I don't know if I don't know if anything left on Trog's team could have lived.
thing is,
At that point.
I think it was a scarf.
Yeah,
Andros.
yeah. So
So
Scarf Lander so it outsped the Zard, but it would have just died to any move had the Zard lived. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I could have ran the calc, but I don't really care that much. But it was still like hacks. I don't know. I guess Spanik still
yeah,
mattered in the battle. So like he probably could have easily beaten Trog. So like it's that's why he's at the top of the bottom because he still lost, but like it wasn't like totally fair, and
yeah, I
he
agree with
played
that.
pretty well that match. It just didn't go in his favor.
Hmm.
Okay, whatever. Sorry, Spanik. And then so above Spanik is gonna be Dolphin and the Red Spark, Vikavolts. Dolphin, interesting dude. He played Joey, and I don't know. This battle was kind of weird. It was obviously like all these battles are 3-0s basically at this point, but
Hmm.
it was a 3-0, but like it wasn't like a very like even 3-0. Like I think Joey just kind of like was like making sure he had the win because he easily could have played around and
Yeah,
done
yeah,
stuff.
definitely. Like, yeah,
Because I think the battle just ended in like Dolphin getting swept by Zygarde. So it's like he brought like nothing for it. Like I think like Gallade had probably Ice Punch or something, if it wasn't plus speed, like.
Hmm.
But like I don't know, it's just like his matchup was awful. I don't know if it was the team matchup, if it was his build, but like
yeah. Thing is, it wasn't just Zygarde, man. Like, have you seen Honchkrow? He had like no answers for that
oh yeah
scarf, Moxie
that
Honchkrow,
was
and
also cool and yeah and
if
then
it wasn't
because
for the yeah,
yeah because like Crobat came in, lived the +1 hit, and then went for like Z Fire and didn't even kill the Honchkrow. I'm like, what are you doing?
yeah, and it lived on 1%. Thing is,
It was like
and if it wasn't for Tyranitar Sand, he would have get swept right there for.
right. Yeah, so it was a rough battle for Dolphin. Like I don't know if it was a matchup or if it seemed like a bunch of things just went wrong for him. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. This is bad. So he did win week 2. So he's 1-2. It's not like the worst. He like I don't know. I feel like getting that first win with your team, I can relate, is like important. Like because if even if like you're getting hacked and stuff, like if you can't even get that one win, like it's a morale booster, like or like I don't know, morale tank. So he at least has like a win. He's used his team well at least once. So it's not like it can't give him last for 1 and 2, I guess.
Yeah, I mean he's still in there for sure, but
Yeah, yeah, especially week 3. All right.
yeah, he needs to make some changes to his team, I think.
Yeah,
But overall, I think he's not among the worst. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I mean he started preseason. We gave him 14th, so like it's not like his team on paper is very good
yeah, but
to start with.
he can still make the plays and stuff. He got a win right
Yeah,
with a bottom tier team. Yeah, he can still get it off.
yeah. Okay. So that was 13th. Above Dolphin is poor Bloodcrawler and the Leuven Larvitards. So he's another one. Been having help. Okay, I'm gonna have to edit stupid shit because I don't have a good way of like. God damn it, my brain. Okay, I have a good way of revealing these coaches and.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I have a rabbit in my room and she's being a terror. Out of here. I knocked over a water bottle. Okay, whatever. So, This is the life I'm living. So yeah, Blood lost again to Moki, I guess. I'll just like spoil it because Moki's
Yeah,
coming up soon. So yeah, you play an 0-3 team and you lose. It's hard not to like get tanked a little bit. Not that Moki's bad or anything, but he had him doing well. But yeah, this battle was just like extremely one sided. I mean, turn one, Blood over predicted. He toxic Swampert with Bulu and just got O-code by Sludge Wave,
yeah,
which is like, which is which on one hand it's like, how do you expect that poison move on Swampert?
yeah.
But
That's
the
it,
other hand,
man.
it's like he had to sell a Steela, like where you like that's the obvious switch. So even if you didn't want to go for the grass move, you're just gonna toxic like a Celesteela. So I don't know. It's just
Mm.
like so it started the battle turn one on the back foot and just could not recover at that point.
Yeah, the thing is, it's very hard to recover from that, because losing Bull means a lot of stuff for him. Like he has to like use Holocha very early and pull the trigger, and it's not gonna break through if everything is at 100% health, right? So at that point, you just
Right. Yeah, and he just I don't know. It just seemed like every single time he brought in a Mon and Moki just had to switch for it. Like he was never really like, getting anywhere.
yeah,
So I think it was partly maybe not the best build and not the best play. Maybe not even the best matchup, but
mm,
that's
uh,
it was just a rough week. So that bring him into 12th. He's 1 and 2. There's like 1,000 1 and 2 teams at this point, so it's hard to kind of rank them against each other. But generally, how it goes is like your most recent battle is going to dictate your momentum and all that. Because like you lose poorly and then you go like, okay, what do I need to change about my team? Like that's usually when you think. Whereas like if you made changes a while ago, you're just kind of like, we'll figure it out.
yeah. But I still think he can get up. Like I know Bloodcorner, he's like a good coach and
Oh
definitely.
yeah, yeah. I mean he won week one with good play. I mean we ranked his team pretty high early on. So it's not like his team's bad. He just had a really bad week.
Yeah, I'd say that play from turn one, it's like you can't really
Yeah.
predict it, and because of that one turn, it's like really hard to recover from it. Like Tyranitar just went to town on him.
Yeah. Yeah, he had like a Nile ego, doesn't he? So, with that point, above him is going to be Moki in the Golden City Gardevoirs. It's rough for Blood to get jumped by the last place team from last week, but Moki like prepped and played really well. So
Mm. Yeah, it
I can't really like knock him for that.
seems to me he was kind of counting on the surprise kill on Blue, because from there on out he just dominated him. You know, he out prepped. I would say out prepped, but it was very easy for
You're
for
going back
Bulu
forward.
to get the kill instead of Swampert, because he's faster than it.
Yeah,
Could have backfired on him, but it didn't.
yeah, very
Yeah.
bold play. But yeah, so like I said, once you get that first win, it helps a lot. Like gives you insight on what works with your team, how to build stuff like
Mm.
that. So it was a good week for Moki. A good comeback from an 0-2 start. Not enough to get him into like the top 10 really, but
Yeah, he's getting there.
he got five
Yeah.
spots. Yeah. So next above Moki will be J-Law and Sacramento Sandshrews. I don't think he played this week.
No, he forfeited his game, and
He forfeited to Brett. That son of a bitch. So yeah, it's just I don't know. I like they were scheduling at first, and like Brett missed like the original schedule, which is like during the week, and then they were like, okay, we'll play on the weekend, and then J Law disappeared for the rest of the time. Apparently, like he lost internet, so
yeah,
nothing you really do about it. It will like the battle could have happened, but if you just like don't have internet and don't give a good warning to your league, like you're gonna get the forfeit. It's not really like not a lot to question there. We gave him a ton of time to try to come back, and it had been
yeah.
way too long to justify
Nothing we can
doing
do
this.
about it.
Yeah, so I mean, I know he lost 6 spots for that, which is kind of weird, but like, there's league context to go around that, and if you don't battle, you can't prove that you're in again.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, all right, whatever. So above J Law is gonna be Di Gremlin and the Southland Stoutlands. So he was another team that started 0-2. I had him second last week, just after the 0-2 start and not having the greatest team on paper. But he actually had like a really good week against Ian.
Yeah, yeah. He played very well. He made a couple plays with Necrozma on the trick room, like predicting his opponent and reading and
Yeah, yeah. He made a couple like really good predictions. And he kind of said after the battle, he said he felt he needed to like that was like his last ditch effort to like get a win. He was like, 0-2 starts rough. He's like he was playing for like, as though like he was keeping his playoff hopes alive, even though it's week 3, which I think is like a good mindset to have.
yeah,
Basically.
yeah.
And it obviously like really worked. But also like the fact that he had to like play so crazy to win is like I think he might need to make some team changes.
But I think there might be some fair predictions to make. Like if you barely broke through the flinches of Jirachi and you got up a trick room, might as well make
Yeah,
the best of them, right?
right. But yeah, it's like I don't know the fact that he had to make like 2 or 3 like really like risky predictions just to like keep himself in it to eventually win is like yeah, it's kind of a red flag. Like it is it's like it's good that he can play to that level and succeed, but like also like it's probably an indicator of his team rather than him as a coach that he's 1-2 right now.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, but good job, Gremlin. You did it. Above Gremlin is gonna actually just be Ian and the Surrey Stingers. So Ian, like weirdly enough, he did lose, and I put him up. And I like that's only like kind of a factor of the fact that I'm looking at like 5 or 6 1-2 teams right now. So it's like it's hard to like rank these, and like I think kind of part of it is like I said, basically like Gremlin made a bunch of like crazy plays to beat Ian, so it's not like Ian didn't prep well or didn't play well. He just kind of like he got hit on the coin flip a couple times. Like I probably could have switched Gremlin and Ian, but I also didn't think like one win for Gremlin like
Yeah, yeah.
like gave him like 7 spots. Like it was just one of the things where it's like probably like 8, 9, 10 are all kind of like similar.
Yeah, thing is, it's not very good to rely on Jirachi flinches, but thing is, he got really bad luck on it because
Yeah,
the one time he didn't get the flinch was when he set up Trick Room and he just went to town on him, and it
yeah, just cleaned up.
happened with the Stack Attacker too, and that's just unfortunate.
Yeah. So, it's just like he didn't do anything necessarily wrong. It's just the battle didn't go his way. So like,
Mm.
I guess I could have like I said, I could have kept him even, but it was just kind of the weird thing where it's like all these teams are 1-2. So I kind of just am going with the fact that Ian still has like a very good team on paper, especially since he got Garchomp in a trade over Salamence for some reason. I don't know why like Arky did that, but so he actually like he gained Garchomp, which rounds out his team better than Mence was doing. So like in theory, like if you look at all these 1-2 teams,
Yeah, he's the one who stands out.
like his team's good and like not it's not like they're 1-2 minus like 1,000 or whatever. So like all these teams are really close. So I kind of just have to differentiate it with what I
Yeah,
know. All right. But yeah, so Ian another 1-2 team still in it. So above him in 7th is going to be Joey and the Los Angeles Nido Kings, and he was the one who played Dolphin, and I mean he just had a solid battle. The number next to his name is not correct. It says -4. Oops. All right, but oh wait, Ian's not right either. What am I doing? None of these numbers are right. Whatever. Okay. That's what editing's for, I guess. But yeah, so Joey moves up. He beat Dolphin. He goes to 2-1 actually. So he's, since Ian is the 1-2 team, Joey's at the bottom of the 2-1 teams. But like that doesn't totally mean that much. But he had a really good build, really good play. Like as I said, Dolphin really didn't do much in that battle. Like Joey was in control, and he just
yeah, exactly. Like, it shows that if you can sweep your opponent with Hunch Crow on turn 10, or was it?
yeah.
It shows that you prep very well for the battle, and your opponent can do next to nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, a lot of the things right now is just like their records are kind of determining like their general position, and then I just kind of go with like their performance or their team. So Joey doesn't have like the best team still on paper. He started in 11th just on pure team alone, but I mean he's winning games, so obviously he's moved up. But compared to like the other teams that have been showing like really good results,
Mm.
he ends up in seventh, but seventh is still top half. I guess six make it to the playoffs. Obviously, PRs don't like determine that,
Yeah,
obviously, but like he's in like the top half
yeah,
for
for
sure,
sure.
so should be good enough. All right, whatever, Joey. So above Joey is Brett and Matt Cargo, Brett Aviv. So he received the forfeit over J Law, and I just kept him in sixth because like you know
Mm.
uh,
Yeah, I agree.
he's actually like 3-0. So like it's at this point, so it's you can't really just say like I don't know, but I just kept him where he was just for simplicity's sake. So even though he's 3-0, like he didn't play, so like from like a purist power ranking standpoint, I
Mm.
guess like he's not gonna move up because he didn't play the game. But like record wise, yeah, he's in like the top two or three, whatever. This is good for him. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's good enough. You take a forfeit. It's kind of like not ideal, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's a win for
you
the
don't get
team.
a chance to prove yourself, right? Like, I wouldn't put him above anyone else either, 'cause he didn't really
Yeah,
earn it, like I would say. Like, he did.
right. Because like, there's no proof he wasn't just gonna get like destroyed that battle. Like like so it's like it wouldn't be fair to be like, oh, he had a bad matchup or like whatever. I'm not just gonna theorize about what could have happened. I'm just
Right.
gonna keep him
Yeah,
where
I
he is.
agree.
Yeah. Okay. Good job, Eric. You did it, even though you didn't. All right. So in fifth is also another no change. Is going to be Trog and the Tapu Canucks.
Hmm.
And weirdly enough, even though he won, um, who did he beat?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
beat Spanik. Oh yeah, he beat Spanik, and like I said, it was kind of hacksy. So like I didn't want to tank Spanik too much. I didn't want to like throw Trog to the top too much because he is still 2-1. So like he is above a 3-0 team in theory
Yeah,
still.
kind of.
So like I think that's
I
like
think
generally
something
speaking.
happened to him week one when he lost against someone, and I think it was a misclick or something like that. The,
Yeah. Well, like, it wasn't even. It was just a misplay. Like all he needed to do was click Ice Shard with Weavile, and then he just didn't. Like I don't know. I don't. Some went wrong. But like, he just needed to click like his priority move, and it would have like chipped down or something. So like, yeah. So he had a really close loss. He had a decent win against somebody. Against Gremlin, he beat Gremlin pretty decently. So and then he beat Spanik, but it was kind of like it was a little bit luck for that. So it's
yeah.
like he's 2-1, but like it's been very like middle of the road, I guess. Like it's just
So
kind of
even though he won by a crit, right, technically, and he said Azumarill could have revenge killed Charizard, even if the crit didn't happen,
yeah. So
yeah,
it's like
I'm still not too sure about that. The game would have gone differently, and
right,
there's no way of predicting really, right?
yeah, like it might have been a 1-0 in its favor. Like I don't know. It's not. Yeah, it wasn't one of those games where it's like it's the last turn and the opponent misses a move that would have KO'd or
Mm.
something. Like it was it was far enough into the battle where like you can kind of tell where it was going, but it wasn't like it wasn't he only won because of hacks. It like the hacks like secured
Mm.
his win.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's in fifth. That's still pretty good. 2-1. I like his team still. I don't remember if he's gonna make any trades or whatever, but
Mm.
he's doing all right.
Yeah, overall solid.
Yeah. So above him by one spot is gonna be Brandon and the Ports Meowth or Super Salamence, I guess is what he goes by. But he did lose to Arky and the San Antonio Victory Bells, but it was a very close 1-0 game.
Yeah, it was definitely close. Yeah.
And yeah, and it kind of came down to like a misplay on Brandon's part. He like sacked something or took an extra hit that he didn't need to, or like I think he needed to switch something out, and he just left it in. So like he was like basically one play away from still winning, and he was playing. Both the teams were 2-0, so he's playing like obviously like a team that's doing
Mm.
well, and it was a very close battle. So it's like I couldn't tank him any further than like one spot for barely,
Yeah, for sure. Like
you know.
Nido King really went through his team, right? But
Yeah, yeah, and I think he just left something in on Nidoking that like just I don't know. I don't remember what happened,
Mm.
but he like
I,
just generally he
I
was
think he
close.
just got sold by Scarf Nidoking clicking Earthquake.
Yeah, because I think Arky had two Scarfers, so
Yeah.
like I think Brandon had seen the first guaranteed and didn't realize Nidoking
Hmm.
was scarfed, and he also it was also Scarf Sucker Punch, which was like it was just a
Right.
weird play.
Yeah.
Um, so like, I think that's part of what happened. So like that's how he lost
Yeah. His opponent was
whatever
more
it's called.
prepared than him, I think, because even though
Yeah, it really came down to just like a very like small like prep that difference that Arky had an advantage of.
yeah,
Yeah, but it was a really good battle. So I mean, that's obviously going to lend to the fact that Arky is now in third. So him and Brandon just swapped places. Obviously, because Arky's now 3-0 and he did win, so that'll obviously give him the advantage in the head-to-head PR, is having
yeah,
beaten the other person. But yeah, so like I don't know, he played okay. Like obviously he was on like a really bad back foot. But the fact that he was able to like keep Nidoking around and eventually like basically counter sweep with it, is a testament to his playing, if
yeah.
anything.
He definitely played. I would say he played better than Brendan, just because okay, he had a Nidoking that ran through his opponent's team, but then again, Brendan also had a Medicham who ran through his team, and he was able
Yeah.
to take care of Medicham better than Brendan took care of Nidoking. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. It just came down to playing around the your opponent's
Yeah,
threats.
yeah.
Like even if you're up like 4-2, you can't just be like I've got it, and then
Mm,
just like you have to be like aware that of anything that could happen. And obviously Brandon didn't consider the fact that Nidoking, was in a position
yeah,
to
exactly.
beat him. So he just kind of he had the win and he kind of let
Mm.
it slide. So yeah. So I don't know if you'll like this, but I told Charlie it was only fair that the top two teams are tied for this week in first. Simply because like you guys literally had the exact same record and differential, so like there was nothing I could do. Like I was like
Yeah,
I could have just kept you in first because you had been in first, but like I think the fact that like Charlie had a really good week, she 5-0'd
mm,
Shade with basically no problem. It's just like, you know, she deserves to like taste the first rank, even if it's
yeah. I mean,
Shade.
I agree with you, man. Like
And
she played very well against Shade. She dominated her game and prepped very well. So I don't know.
yeah, I mean, and then you played Will, so like if you look at the power rankings, literally the top two teams played the bottom two teams, so it wasn't like either of you really did anything incredible. But
Yeah, I mean,
so
technically,
yeah, you gotta,
so Shade has a better team, I would say, like
yeah.
balance wise.
Yeah, I mean, original power ranks, we had Shade in like fourth
Yeah.
and Will in 12th. So, regardless of how they're doing, like they still have, their team composition.
So yeah, I agree with you, and like
Yeah, but I
Charlie
mean,
should be maybe spot one this week.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you guys are both off to like phenomenal starts.
Hmm.
I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. Do you know if you guys play each
Yeah,
other?
yeah, I do play here on week 12, like at the very end of the season.
Week 12. That's awesome. So hey, maybe we'll see. From the perspective of not knowing future weeks, maybe we'll see like the top two teams play each other last week, get that first seed or something.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll have to like fix up some of this. I mean, you can't see my screen, but like I've propped it up a little bit, revealing like the coaches and stuff. So I'll do a little bit of editing, but yeah. So like, these are the weekly power rankings. It wasn't like too crazy. Basically, like the big jumps were Gremlin and Moki both getting like big jumps because they both got their first wins and they both had really good battles. So I felt it was fair to give them kind of boosts.
Yeah, yeah.
Since like I feel like it's weird. Like a week 3 win, in my opinion, is kind of better than a week 1 win if you're both 1 and 2 because like it shows you're kind of like learning to use your team,
Yeah, I
and or you've made adjustments or something. So it's kind of like, if you win one week and then lose two straight, or if you lose two straight and then win, like I feel like you have a little bit more momentum than the person who's on like a losing
yeah,
streak.
yeah, I
So yeah, it
kind of
gives them a
agree
little
with
bit of
that.
a boost. Yeah, I mean it depends. Like obviously, like the further you get into the season, it doesn't matter as much. Like if in theory if you lose week 4 and then like Brandon wins and he goes, you're both 3-1. I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's ahead of you now for no like no reason. It would have to be have to be like something crazy. But as far as like week 3 goes, I think getting that first win under your belt is a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
swing.
It shows that you're getting up.
But
Right.
yeah. So we'll have to see how next week goes. In theory, actually, I guess I don't know about week 4. There's gonna be at least one coach change for week 4. The way things worked out, so that'll be like we'll have to like talk around that. But yeah, it was a pretty good week. Like I said, it was a really close week. There was like a ton of 3-0s, so I think like besides like maybe the top 4 teams, maybe 5. D2 is pretty close. I mean, obviously, like the undefeated teams are kind of pulling ahead, but there's like, like I said, there's like 6
Yeah,
1 and 2 teams. Like that's a lot of there's a lot that can happen
yeah,
there.
it's
So like no one's really
definitely
counting
up
out.
for grabs. Like even the bottom teams can still get up and end up in playoffs. Like there's nothing decided.
Yeah, like even from like a standings like point of view, like if you're 1 and 2 and you go 2 and 2, like that you can jump like 5 or 6 spots off just from other people losing.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So we'll see how the next weeks go.
yeah, the next week that's like obviously already happened from our perspective, but don't worry about it. All right, so yeah, thanks for joining me. I don't know if we'll decide how to do the next weeks too, but it was good
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to
Thanks for having me.
you. Yeah, you did better than me, but don't tell him I said that. All right, thanks for watching, metaphorical viewers, of which there are like 5. So we'll see you around for the next video. I don't know.